Hey, Travel and Trav here in Elephant Butte. Look at this. There's this light in the sky, and every time I move my head up or down, that light moves with it's just a reflection on the anyway, seriously though, there are lights in the sky out here. I saw some crazy stuff the other night that was just inexplicable. And also, you know, like my friend Steve's out here too. He's this really super awesome rational mind dude, and he's like, well, you know, drones can do that, or this can do that, or you know, and I'm like, yeah, you know. And also, I still have this sense of wonder at what I saw because I could not quite explain it. I love my work. I love connecting with people and learning and growing and seeing things and discovering new things. I'm about to show you some video here that I made just about a year ago as I was endeavoring to deepen this Travel and String Camp experience. So here we go. Thanks to everybody. I am. Labor and the expression of worth.
Shame, rejection, isolation, alienation. These abstract words can ultimately have no significance, no meaning to me whatsoever. It seems that every inquiry we make into the shadow must end in a release of the shadow, or a dissolution of the shadow, or perhaps a realization that I am not that shadow. I am not these thoughts. I am not these emotions. I simply am.
A walk in the park is a walk in the park. A true encounter with nature is absolutely humbling. And also the true encounter with one's own nature, right? Because one's true nature inevitably dismantles the false nature. So it's kind of this soul that longs for God is also the soul that has surrendered in its own exhaustion and desperation. And then there's the discovery that identity never existed. All there is I am. I am. There is some kind of intuition that may guide us as we reconnect with something that we might relate to the story of the hunter-gatherers who have, as an organism, followed the herd and followed the harvest, yes? Just using that indigenous one from Bill Plotkin's Map of the Psyche, there are these things that we may creatively rediscover or discover in ourselves as we, in the tradition of Ken Wilber, begin integrating all of that consciousness, understanding ourselves as one with our ancestors, our descendants alike, right? That we are all a part of this cloud of witnesses, and that we are all informing one another as we forgive this big binary cross that we seem to be nailed to. It can seem like that, right? And then there's the resurrection. So some of us find ways of speaking about it like this. Some of us can speak passionately about how we view the world through our stories, and we're not demanding that anyone else believe my story, although it does a pretty good job of helping me to understand. But as with any story, with any writing, any holy scripture, whatever, we're bound to misinterpret it for generations. And then whatever interpretation we come to in this generation, well, hopefully it's deeper, right? So more true to the truth, right? If truth is nested, then it inherently encompasses all the truth that was before, but it just expands, it gets bigger. And if God is who we've said God is to be, this great mystery, this ununderstandable being,
it would make sense that our consciousness would come into a deeper understanding of God as the generations passed, as we begin to have these sacred intergenerational exchanges in which we're reaching to the, we have one hand holding onto the generation that came before us and another hand holding onto the generation that we have birthed, right? And then we hopefully we have enough strength at this stage of our life to hold that frame, right, and to let go of what must be let go of in order to move forward with the new thing, right? And I think that would safely describe the process that I find myself in, this particular manifestation of consciousness that we've called trad.
Labor and the expression of worth. Together, you and I are discovering our common work. If we can discover together where our work overlaps, then we can do that work together without compromising our own integrity. We each must answer our deepest calling, and sometimes that means leaving people, places, and things behind that are part of an earlier stage of our development. Strengthening a tribe member deepens a tribe. Depth tribes feed the world. There are those of us who understand now how to give freely, how to share freely, how to receive freely. And there are these sacred exchanges happening for those of us who have now gone through this particular initiation ceremony, wherever we're at, and now we're meeting each other, and our consciousness is being expanded. It's profound. Lights in the sky, brothers and sisters. I see that light in you. I've seen so many synchronicities this trip around New Mexico. Meeting Chris is one of those. cpbutchvarab.com. Crazy Fretboard Symphony is an album of his that I recommend, but that's not where his body of work ends. He's a poet, a writer, and some kind of crazy philosopher dude. And I was blown away by, just as a string player, listening to the work on this one album, and I've just listened. I spent some time listening to his stuff the other day, and I'll tell you what, just go there, just check his stuff out. It's cool. It's deep. It goes and goes, and he's got it to where he's got links in his writings to songs. It's a cool thing. So please, y'all, go check that out. Labor and the Expression of Worth.